Hi, everybody! Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will dive into the thrilling twists awaiting us in the week of July 21st, 2025, where secrets unravel, weddings turn turbulent, and old memories resurface in unexpected ways. Kicking things off with the much-anticipated wedding of Drew Kane and Willow Tate, the ceremony promises to be anything but smooth sailing. As viewers have already witnessed, Liesl didn't hold back her fury, confronting Willow about her hasty decision to relocate her children into Drew's home amid Michael Corinthus's harrowing recovery from severe, life-threatening burns sustained in a mysterious fire at the warehouse district. Liesl, ever the protective force, vividly recalled how Michael had been a pillar of strength during Willow's own battle with leukemia, spending countless hours by her bedside offering unwavering support and encouragement through her darkest days. Despite Liesl's impassioned plea, Willow remained unmoved, her resolve seemingly hardened by recent emotional upheavals. However, this confrontation led Liesl to confide in Nina Reeves, urging her that it's high time to sever the toxic ties binding them all. With spoilers hinting at outright wedding chaos, perhaps an uninvited guest crashing the vows, or a shocking revelation from the past, fans are left wondering if this union will even make it to the altar. Imagine the tension escalating, with floral arrangements toppling over in a heated argument, or a sudden storm mirroring the emotional turmoil, adding layers of drama to what should be a joyous occasion. Shifting gears to Jason Morgan's storyline, a ghostly encounter at the bustling Port Charles airport has him reeling. Jason swears he spotted Britt Westburn, but logic reminds him that's impossible. Britt tragically succumbed to a fatal stabbing from a poison hook wielded by the notorious Heather Weber during that infamous serial killer spree 2 years ago. This fleeting vision stirs a whirlwind of buried memories for Jason. From their passionate romance amid high-stakes adventures to the quiet moments of vulnerability they shared in hidden safe houses across the city. As the week progresses, Jason's determination intensifies, possibly driving him to investigate this mysterious doppelganger. Could it be a long-lost relative of Britt's, or even a clever disguise by an enemy aiming to exploit his weaknesses? Inventing a new twist, perhaps Jason uncovers old letters from Britt hidden in his Quartermain family archives, revealing untold secrets about her final days that force him to confront unresolved grief and question his current path in life. In another corner of Port Charles, tensions rise as Vaughn delivers a stern warning to Jocelyn Jax, cautioning her about the dangers lurking in their secretive alliance. But Vaughn's carefully constructed cover might already be crumbling, thanks to Dante Falconeri's keen eye spotting suspicious activity on newly installed surveillance footage from the docks, where shadowy figures exchanged cryptic packages under the cover of night. Meanwhile, Anna Devane pulls Carly Spencer aside for a probing conversation about her daughter's new boyfriend, delving into his questionable background that includes rumored ties to underground operations in Europe. This interrogation could unearth hidden motives, bringing us tantalizingly closer to unraveling the enigma of Professor Henry Hank Dalton, whose academic facade at the university might conceal a web of espionage involving stolen artifacts from ancient civilizations, adding depth, picture, and piecing together clues from Dalton's lectures on historical mysteries, linking them to recent thefts at the local museum, heightening the suspense as Jocelyn navigates this perilous romantic entanglement. The drama doesn't stop there. Laura Collins is set to receive some profoundly disturbing news that could shake the foundations of her mayoral duties and family life. Perhaps it involves a leaked document exposing corruption in the city council, or a personal betrayal from a trusted ally, forcing Laura to rally her resources in a bid to protect her loved ones. On a parallel track, Carly and Lucas Jones engage in a heated confrontation, their sibling bond tested by differing views on family loyalties, especially regarding Lucas's recent decisions about his medical career and potential relocation to a specialized clinic in Boston. Michael, grappling with his recovery, opens up to his sister Christina Corinthos Davis in a heartfelt moment, sharing fears about his future and the strain on his marriage, perhaps confiding in her about vivid nightmares from the burn incident that haunt his sleep. Elsewhere, Ava Jerome finds herself deeply shaken by an unforeseen development, maybe a threatening anonymous letter alluding to her past misdeeds in the art world. including that infamous gallery scandal involving forged masterpieces. Isaiah Gannon steps in to offer steadfast support to Portia Robinson, who is wrestling with ethical dilemmas in her role at the hospital, such as a controversial patient case involving experimental treatments. Curtis Ashford expresses reservations about Portia's bold plan to come clean about a hidden affair from years ago, but he ultimately recognizes that a full, official confession is her best shot at reclaiming control and stripping away the leverage held by Drew, who might be using this knowledge as blackmail in his corporate power plays at Aurora Media. Adding to the intrigue, Jen Sidwell makes a dramatic announcement that could alter the criminal underworld's landscape in Port Charles, potentially revealing a new alliance or a bounty on a rival. However, with Marco Rios' daring rescue operation underway, perhaps involving a high-speed chase through the winding roads of the outskirts, Sidwell is likely plotting a ruthless retaliation against Sonny Corinthos, envisioning elaborate schemes like sabotaging his coffee import business or targeting his closest associates. In a lighter but equally compelling vein, Lucy Co extends an intriguing invitation to an undisclosed recipient, which might involve a glamorous charity gala at the Metro Court or a business proposition for her cosmetics empire, Deception, complete with surprise celebrity guests and opulent decorations that mask underlying rivalries. Finally, Trina Robinson stands her ground firmly in the face of mounting pressures. Whether it's defending her choices in her budding art career at the gallery or supporting her family through their trials, showcasing her growth into a resilient young woman who won't back down from adversity. Next, we will explore the shocking suspicions swirling around Willow Tate and Drew Kane, as Liesl Obrecht gears up to unleash a potential game-changer that could shatter their controversial romance in Port Charles. Diving right into the heart of the drama, Liesl Obrecht is poised to deliver a stunning revelation that, while surprising to some, aligns perfectly with her keen instincts and vast experience in the shadowy world of manipulation. Having confided in Nina Reeves about her deep concerns, Liesl has pinpointed something profoundly off-kilter with Nina's daughter, Willow Tate, insisting that the young woman appears to be under a form of insidious brainwashing. Drawing from her own history of encounters with master manipulators like Caesar Faison, Liesl's radar for psychological control is sharper than ever. And she's convinced that Willow's recent behavior, such as her abrupt shift in loyalties and impulsive decisions, scream of external influence. To flesh this out with a fresh angle, imagine Liesl poring over old medical journals in her dimly lit study at the Quartermain mansion, cross-referencing symptoms of subliminal programming with Willow's erratic actions, like her sudden disdain for longtime allies, which only fuels her determination to intervene before it's too late. It's glaringly obvious to keen observers that neither Willow Tate nor Drew Kane resemble the individuals they once were, a transformation that's especially stark for Liesl, who's been away from Port Charles for the past 2 years tending to personal matters in Europe. During that time, Drew emerged as an unlikely hero in Liesl's eyes, bravely orchestrating her escape from the clutches of the villainous Victor Casadini on his fortified island compound, complete with high-tech security and treacherous traps. His daring efforts ensured Liesl returned just in the nick of time to provide a life-saving bone marrow donation to Willow, who was teetering on the brink during her grueling fight against leukemia. Adding an inventive layer, picture Drew navigating hidden underground tunnels on Casadini Island, dodging laser grids and armed guards, all while coordinating with allies via encrypted radios. A feat that not only saved Liesl, but also highlighted his former self as a man of integrity and courage, now seemingly eroded by unseen forces. The saga deepens when recalling how Drew and his brother Jason Morgan joined forces in a high-stakes rescue mission on that very same Casadini Island, liberating Liesl and several other captives from Victor's elaborate web of deceit, only for tragedy to strike with Jason's second presumed demise in an explosive collapse of the island's main facility. However, subtle shifts in Drew's demeanor became apparent even before Jason's dramatic return from the presumed dead, particularly right after Drew's release from the grim confines of Pentonville Prison, where he endured months of isolation that left visible scars on his psyche. Inventing a new element, perhaps during his imprisonment, Drew encountered a shadowy inmate who whispered hints of forgotten Casadini experiments, planting seeds of doubt that later blossomed into his altered personality, making him more calculating and less empathetic than the man who once risked everything for family and friends. Delving into the mechanics of this change, it's revealed that Drew had been subjected to sophisticated brainwashing techniques on Casadini Island, employing tarot cards as subtle triggers to implant commands deep within his subconscious. Yet, in a clever twist of resistance, Drew and Jason deciphered the scheme and pretended to comply, using their wits to outmaneuver their captors during critical moments, such as a tense standoff in Victor's opulent war room filled with ancient artifacts and glowing monitors. Liesl, with her extensive background in such manipulative tactics and from years dealing with the likes of her ex-husband Heinrich Faison, better known as the infamous Peter August, immediately spots the telltale signs in Willow's behavior, linking it directly to Peter's notorious use of those same tarot cards to control and deceive. Although Peter met his end in a fiery confrontation atop a Swiss chalet, Liesl theorizes that his methods could have been passed on to a successor, perhaps a hidden apprentice who reprogrammed Drew, turning him into an unwitting puppet master who then ensnared Willow in a similar web of influence. Evident in her uncharacteristic coldness toward her husband Michael and her rapid entanglement with Drew. Despite her time away, Liesl has remained vigilantly informed about the tumultuous events in Port Charles, particularly those touching her extended family, gathering intel through discreet calls and online forums dedicated to local gossip. She learned of the chilling Halloween incident where young Charlotte Casadini, in a fit of misguided rage, set fire to Anna Devane's cozy suburban home, resulting in Charlotte accidentally getting shot during the chaos, a story relayed in detail by her own grandson who witnessed the aftermath amid the smoke and sirens. Strikingly, Charlotte was found clutching a deck of tarot cards, the very tools associated with Peter's brainwashing legacy, which Liesl sees as an ominous clue pointing to a broader conspiracy lingering in the shadows of the town, possibly involving remnants of the Casadini family's dark experiments hidden in forgotten vaults beneath Spoon Island. Armed with this conviction, Liesl methodically lays out her argument for Willow's brainwashing, advocating for swift and decisive action to counteract it. Though she's somewhat less worried about Drew's state, figuring he might require deprogramming as a secondary step once Willow is safe. Her primary focus, as she emphatically shared with Nina following a tense family gathering at the Metro Court rooftop, is to dismantle the couple's relationship by initiating Willow's recovery process, emphasizing how the old Drew noble and honorable would never have pursued a romance with someone in Willow's vulnerable position, especially given their age gap. Biologically speaking, Drew is old enough to be Willow's father, having been a teenager around the time of her birth, a fact that underscores the impropriety of their current dynamic in Liesl's eyes. Introducing a novel detail, Liesl might enlist the help of a renowned psychiatrist from Vienna, a former colleague specializing in reversing subliminal conditioning, to conduct secret sessions disguised as casual coffee meetups at Kelly's diner, aiming to peel back the layers of control without alerting Drew. Ultimately, Liesl recognizes that this marks Willow's second brush with cult-like brainwashing, harking back to her earlier entanglement with the Dawn of Day group led by the charismatic yet dangerous Shiloh, which nearly cost her everything. To break free this time, Willow must be gently guided to acknowledge the manipulation and actively desire her independence, perhaps through therapeutic interventions that include revisiting old journals from her teaching days or reconnecting with supportive figures like her adoptive mother Harmony, whose ghostly advice in dreams could symbolize Willow's inner strength resurfacing. As these revelations unfold, the residents of Port Charles brace for the fallout, with Liesl's bombshell potentially reshaping alliances and exposing deeper secrets in the weeks ahead. Next, we will uncover the escalating romance between Jack Brennan and Carly Spencer, complete with hints of a proposal that could ignite fireworks before dark secrets about Jocelyn Jacks come crashing down in Port Charles. Kicking off with the tantalizing developments in the July 21st episode, Jack Brennan is set to elevate his budding relationship with Carly Spencer by uncorking a bottle of premium champagne during a serene poolside gathering at the luxurious Metro Court Hotel, where the sun-kissed waters reflect the promise of new beginnings. As Carly savors the effervescent bubbles and the intimate ambience, She finds herself pondering the true motive behind this spontaneous celebration. Could it be a milestone in their whirlwind courtship, or simply Brennan's way of showering her with affection without needing an excuse? To add a fresh layer of intrigue, envision Brennan arranging a private chef to prepare Carly's favorite appetizers, like gourmet shrimp cocktails and decadent chocolate-dipped strawberries, turning the evening into a romantic escape that subtly hints at his deeper intentions, all while the distant hum of the city below underscores the fragility of their bliss. This cozy interlude proves fruitful as Brennan and Carly delve into heartfelt conversations about their shared vision for the future, aligning their dreams in a way that solidifies their commitment to one another. They'll explore topics ranging from building a stable home life amid Port Charles's chaos to supporting each other's ambitions, Carly with her entrepreneurial ventures at the hotel, and Brennan with his enigmatic international dealings, forging a pact that feels unbreakable in the moment. Inventing a new element, perhaps Brennan shares a poignant story from his past travels in Australia, where he once helped a community rebuild after a natural disaster, drawing parallels to how he wants to rebuild Carly's life after her recent heartaches, including the fallout from her divorce and business woes, thereby deepening their emotional bond and setting the stage for more serious steps ahead. While Brennan might not drop to one knee just yet, these scenes are meticulously crafted to fortify their romance, paving the path toward an eventual engagement that could catch even the most seasoned viewers off guard. The show's writers seem intent on accelerating this storyline, using the poolside magic to plant seeds of devotion, much like how previous couples in general hospital history have built tension before life-altering twists. Adding inventive details, picture Carly reflecting on her own history of rushed romances, from her turbulent marriage to Sunny Corinthos to her fleeting affair with Jason Morgan, making her cautious yet hopeful as Brennan's charisma draws her in, perhaps even leading to a symbolic exchange of personalized gifts, like a custom pendant engraved with a meaningful date from their first encounter. The timing of this romantic surge is particularly intriguing, coinciding with Anna Devane and Dante Falconeri closing in on Jocelyn Jax's covert ties to the World Security Bureau WSB and her audacious airport escapade involving the mysterious operative Vaughn, which involved a high-stakes distraction play to smuggle sensitive intel past customs agents. Anna, ever the sharp investigator with her background in espionage, corners Carly for a probing chat about Vaughn's sudden appearance in Jocelyn's life, dropping a bombshell by reminding her of Jocelyn's intense preoccupation with bringing down the reformed yet guilty Cyrus Renault, whose criminal empire once terrorized the town with drug rings and extortion schemes. This callback to Cyrus's misdeed serves as a crucial breadcrumb, foreshadowing the explosive truth that Carly must confront. Her own daughter Jocelyn was the one who ended Cyrus's life in a fit of vigilante justice, an act shrouded in shadows at an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of Port Charles. Brennan's role in this web of deception adds layers of complexity, as he subtly stoked Jocelyn's vendetta by feeding her classified clues through anonymous drops and encrypted messages, guiding her toward that fatal confrontation. Once Jocelyn crossed that irreversible line, Brennan swiftly orchestrated a cover-up, erasing digital footprints and planting false alibis, before persuading her to join the WSB as a full-fledged agent, thrusting her into a perilous existence filled with undercover missions and constant threats from global adversaries. To expand with a novel twist, imagine Brennan mentoring Jocelyn in a secret training session at a secluded cabin in the woods, teaching her evasion tactics inspired by his own brushes with danger in foreign lands, all while concealing the moral cost from Carly, who remains blissfully unaware of how her daughter's life has veered into espionage reminiscent of Anna's own storied career. Carly's inevitable rage upon discovering these truths will be volcanic, given that Brennan's influence has steered Jocelyn toward a life of high-risk danger, potentially endangering not just her but the entire Spencer family, including young relatives like Rocco Falconeri, whose innocent world could be upended by the fallout. It stands to reason that the narrative is deliberately heightening the romantic tension between Brennan and Carly beforehand, creating a stark contrast that amplifies the betrayal's impact. Introducing an inventive scenario, perhaps Brennan plans a surprise weekend getaway to a quaint bed and breakfast in the nearby countryside, where whispered promises under starlit skies make Carly envision a fairy tale future, only to have it shattered by incriminating evidence like a leaked WSB file surfacing at the most inopportune moment. In a clever storytelling move, Brennan's potential marriage proposal might serve to deepen Carly's affections, lulling her into a sense of security and happiness that borders on euphoric, much like the calm before a storm in classic soap opera fashion. Just as she begins to believe in their happily ever after, complete with visions of a blended family and shared adventurous, devastating revelations about Jocelyn's actions and Brennan's manipulations could yank the foundation away, leaving Carly reeling in disbelief and heartache. Adding depth with a new element, Carly might confide in a trusted friend like Olivia Quartermain over coffee at Kelly's, gushing about Brennan's charms and how he's unlike any man she's known, including the brooding Sonny or the steadfast Jason, only for this optimism to crumble when Anna presents irrefutable proof, such as surveillance footage linking Jocelyn to Cyrus's demise. As ABC General Hospital spoilers indicate, these jaw-dropping disclosures about Jocelyn are destined to flip Carly's world on its head, unraveling trusts and alliances in ways that could ripple through Port Charles for months, perhaps even drawing in other characters like Professor Henry Hank Dalton, whose own mysterious agenda might intersect with the WSB intrigue. Fans should brace for emotional turbulence as this storyline builds to its climax, blending passion, deceit, and redemption in the signature style that keeps us hooked. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth spoilers and breakdowns, your go-to source for all things General Hospital.